Hey guys, this is Chloe, and if it looks like I am looking down too much, I'm actually reading because I don't want any points to be missed. I don't want to stutter over my words. This is one of the only videos I'm sure that our system has not said I'm in. So I just wanted to give that heads up. If it looks like I am looking down this entire video, it's because I am. I'm reading. We have 6 pages and I want every single word to be heard. I hope you stick throughout this entire video because everything in here is very educational and so important for everybody to hear. And I hope that you stick it out because we hope that through this video we can end some of the comments that we have been getting that just feel very disrespectful. Hey guys, my name's Chloe, and I decided that instead of letting Ashley swear at you for however long this video lasts, I'm going to do the video, and this is my first time out in 2 years or so. So this apartment is all brand new to me, and yeah. So I want to start this video out by thanking those of you who helped us pull this video together with thoughts and points to touch on. The Forest Nera system, the God tier system, the eclectic system, the labyrinth system, and our therapist. Everyone gave good points to add into the video, and we appreciate how much help we received when creating it. We also want to thank Dissociated's channel for putting out their video on drawing the line with hate. Without that video, we may not have made the choice to make this one. Because we are talking about the darker side of D.I.D. today, there is a trigger warning for most topics. If you would rather read the transcript for this video to keep yourself safe, it is in the description. This is about the non-systems that know for sure they do not have D.I.D. and not those questioning and looking for answers. I just want to get that out there because we've had a lot of comments saying that people wish they had D.I.D. and it's just fascinating to them. D.I.D. comes from being traumatized. Stating that you want this disorder is stating that you want to have the trauma that comes with it. Trauma that causes such a state to splinter the personality or the core happens at a very young age. That could be sexual trauma, emotional trauma, physical abuse. You don't know the trauma that has happened to a system, and for us to hear that so many people wish they had this disorder feels completely disrespectful. D.I.D. is not fun. It is a struggle, and we don't think we should have to pretend that it's not. Amnesia is a big barrier and can be very scary at times. Alters don't always get along and can create a hostile environment within the system. Alters can try to take complete control of your life at times, and whether they mean to or not, alters can get you into trouble. Flashbacks come with the reality of D.I.D., as D.I.D. is complex PTSD, and those flashbacks can be re-traumatizing for a lot of different reasons. Finding help can be a daunting task for systems. While most other disorders have specialists to the max, there are very few therapists out there that treat D.I.D. There are about five trauma treatment centers that properly treat D.I.D. in the US. If you do find a therapist, there can be a waiting list up to a year to go and see them. The Trauma Treatment Center here in Portland, Oregon, the last time we checked, had a waiting list of 6 to 8 months to see new clients. When we sought out our therapist, we had messaged at least a dozen of other therapists trying to seek help, and only 6 responded. Only one out of all of those therapists that we messaged had availability to see us. And if we hadn't reached out to her when we did, we would not be seeking help right now. And our therapist is 2 hours away. So we're very thankful that she does telehealth because otherwise we probably wouldn't be seeing a therapist right now. There are therapists out there that don't believe in DID, or even if they do, they don't feel comfortable treating it. If you find a good therapist but don't know you have DID and are trying to understand what is happening, there's a good chance that you can get misdiagnosed. We've known systems that have been diagnosed as bipolar, borderline, narcissistic, schizophrenic, and many other disorders before ever getting their diagnosis for DID. Getting a diagnosis can take years, and there are others who have spoken out about their diagnosis taking 6 years or longer. Seeking help when you have DID is super challenging, and some systems give up trying to find help because there just isn't enough of it to go around. There's not enough resources to look through, or they continue down the path, hoping for a diagnosis that can explain what they're going through, but never get it. Dissociation is something all people with this disorder struggle with. It can have multiple implications and can take a big toll on people. Dissociation can prevent you from going out because you're too out of it to be around anyone else. It can make it so you're not safe to drive. Walking can feel like you're moving through a fog, and at times dissociation to us feels like we're drunk or hungover, and it makes it hard to do almost any task. You become withdrawn and isolated from others, those you cherish and love and don't want to isolate yourself from. Dissociation can be so bad at times that it can prevent you from going to work, which can be hard. Some systems struggle so much that a job is straight up out of the question. Dissociation can make small tasks such as brushing your teeth extremely hard. When you do get help and you're starting to go on medication, they can react differently depending on the alter that has taken them. Some alters need different prescription glasses or even different dosages of medication. For us personally, when trying to find depression meds, we have to be careful because they can cause heavy dissociation, brain fog, dizziness, or the inability for us to switch. It can feel like we are going through a thick gel to get to the front. Unless someone is at the front and are secure there fronting, can last a few minutes at a time before an alter gets sucked back into system. Some alters can have severe reactions to medications like allergic reactions, high blood pressure, anxiety, and can experience the side effects of medication or medications just don't work at all, while others can take medication and function just fine. Some alters require medications that others do not for various reasons, and alters can change the body chemistry. Systems more often than not have issues with chronic pain and illness. This can be extremely debilitating and can hinder each activity throughout the day. Since PTSD is associated with pain and DID is complex PTSD, it makes sense that those with DID and other mental illnesses experience such extreme amount of chronic pain. The relation between pain and PTSD/DID is best described as psychosomatic. The most recent study we have found on the link between mental illness and chronic pain states that they are still not 100% sure on why it occurs. Pain can also be a symptom of physical flashbacks where you feel the trauma but are not necessarily experiencing the memory. I'll leave a link in the description to that study. Time loss is not only an inconvenience, but it can also be very scary. You can lose hours, even days to alters that want to have the front. Although alters, they don't always mean harm. They can do things while hosts and even other alters are unaware of what's going on. Sometimes things that are scary or harmful to the body or relationships. Our alter Saint came out for the first time with full amnesia barriers. He had never experienced being around another person, and he went into flight mode. He took the car keys and he left the phone here and took off. When we came home, we had no idea what had happened or where we had gone. All we knew is we were in a panic and we were in a very upset state of mind. Devin's system was in a panic, thinking the worst that had happened, and caused his brand new alter to have trust issues. Other systems have had relationships ruined by alters cheating on partners. Alters can steal from stores, they can have breakdowns and self-harm, they can forget about body allergies causing hospitalization. All implications that can happen when you have DID. There are a lot of systems out there that deal with addiction. This can come in the form of drugs to escape what we face every single day. Alcohol, self-harm, Too many of us have spent our lives fighting and searching for a form of relief because help is not that easy to find for systems in the US, let alone other countries with worse healthcare than we have. Sleepless nights from alters having anxiety, alters arguing, or having different sleep schedules or patterns. A lot of nights come with nightmares. Alters can have nightmares as they have their own fears. Personal nightmares involve our original trauma, and sometimes we wake up in a panic or tears because those nightmares have brought trauma forward and re traumatized us. Anything can be a trigger for systems, from PDA to a clicking pen. Literally anything can be a negative trigger. And at any time, a new trigger can appear, especially when processing trauma. When a new trauma surfaces, that is a gateway to a trigger. And while that isn't the case for all systems, it's the case for way too many. It is very hard to concentrate at times due to loud arguing in the headspace. At any time, an alter can try to talk to you at inappropriate times. When we had our old therapist, she had a lazy eye, and our alter Silver, he would make jokes about it. And now it's a little humorous, but at the time it was mortified because it was so inappropriate. It can make it hard to focus when an alter is talking at the same level as somebody else. It makes it so it cancels out the person that's talking out here. Or alters can even escalate to arguing in the headspace and yelling, making it impossible to hear out here. Switching can be a painful experience if a switch is forced, or someone is in the front that doesn't want to leave, or someone fights to stay out rather than giving the front to the next alter that wants to be out. When a switch is forced or rapid switching occurs, it can cause physical distress such as headaches and nausea. We've had switches that have taken a few hours that put us to bed for the next day or so. Headaches can turn into migraines that can last a few hours up to a few days. Dissociation is obvious, but even though it's in the name of this disorder, it isn't brought up as much as it should be. Dissociation can come when a switch is about to happen or when the host comes out after a switch. It can cause confusion and distress, and it isn't fun. There's also the fact that alters look different from the body. They can be different races, have different body types, different styles. There are non human alters, and even alters of inanimate objects, all of which can cause extreme body dysphoria. They feel uncomfortable when they are fronting and wish they could rip the skin away to show who they really are. Alters feel a lack of individuality because they all use the same body. That can cause distress, anxiety, and depression in alters, making it all the more difficult for systems to do their job. Along with this comes the fact that alters are not always the same gender as the body, causing gender dysphoria. Daniel felt this so deeply, he created a painting of a naked body with nails raking down the chest, trying to get at his body underneath, but there was no body that could be exposed. There's so much stigma surrounding D.I.D. Our channel is one of the more tame when it comes to hateful comments, but as we grow, so do the comments that show exactly what we are trying to fight against. We have had comments with people literally saying they hate us, that they think we're evil or possessed. One commenter even went as far as talking in Latin, and another in Dutch, spewing hate and Christianity at us. This is the type of hate and ignorance that we fight against with every video that we post. People think we're faking our disorder to gain attention, or say that we're not legitimate systems because we act differently than other systems. We've had comments quite recently stating that we did not in fact have D.I.D, but rather schizophrenia or psychosis. Online is not the only doubt we have received. When we were in high school, we told a very small group of friends about our trauma and how it created our D.I.D. And while 5 out of our friends were very responsive, our ex told us that we weren't traumatized enough to have D.I.D. We aren't the only ones that have been told that we are faking. To those of you that have been told that, I hope that our channel can bring you some comfort in knowing that you aren't alone and that you aren't crazy. Having D.I.D is no more fun than having chronic panic attacks or suicidal depression. The implications can be just as tolling, and to be fighting with your own mind for most of your life is exhausting. It isn't fun to share your body with other people that want to do their own thing. Some alters straight up want to take over and do their own things with the body. Dealing with the aftermath of alters taking over can take a toll on mental health, and that can take a toll on your physical well-being as well. Alters can take your whole paycheck and spend it on senseless items that put you in a dire financial situation. The implications that of alters spending money can can lead to difficulty paying bills or making rent or even feeding yourself. At times when you do come out to others, just like with any disorder, people can say that they support you and that they accept you for who you are. But as soon as you start to show symptoms, they can act annoyed. Systems being themselves around those they trust seems great, but then they start to treat you like you're just a nuisance, like you're a bother to them when you are the one that has this disorder that you have to struggle with. We have struggled most of our life with this disorder since we were 4 years old. And when that one person you told that you trusted, they start acting like that, it hurts. You're brave enough to share that with them, and they betrayed you. They treat you like you're a nuisance and you're the problem. It hurts, and it makes you feel like you have to hide who you are. Some systems in hiding decide that their first person that they want to tell is one of their friends with D.I.D. You'd think another system would be accepting and loving and welcoming and supportive, but that isn't the experience for everybody. Systems can be just as cruel as neurotypicals or non-systems when it comes down to other systems coming out to them. Some will reject the idea that their friend has D.I.D. and will comment things like, "You're just copying my disorder," or "You're just trying to follow a trend," making it harder to know who you can trust when it comes to coming out to others, including systems. It's sad that in this day and age, you can be hated by others with D.I.D. simply because you trusted them enough to come out to them. People saying that D.I.D. sounds fun or cool are missing the point of systems trying to educate the public and other systems. You only see what we want you to see when it comes to us and our lives. In order to keep D.I.D. in the light and not feed into misconceptions, we show more positives than negatives of D.I.D. The comments recently, though, glorifying D.I.D. have gotten to the point where we feel that they need to be addressed. Trauma is not cool, and D.I.D. is not something to wish for or romanticize. We are demonized by the media. They make us into horror movies like Split and Glass. Movies that make alters out to be violent and malevolent so they can gain a few dollars. Meanwhile, there are people that take these movies and use them as an example for whole groups of people when we just want to exist. Other mental disorders are also demonized in movies, and while they are important, we are a D.I.D. channel, so I'm not going to touch on those in this video. We do not enjoy being told that we are lucky to have headmates. That is saying that we are lucky to have endured such extreme trauma when we were so young. It is disrespectful and crosses a line when it comes to curiosity about the subject. We also get comments asking us about our abuse, what caused our splits, for both systems. I cannot think of a more invasive question than, what kind of trauma did you go through when you were a kid? Those kinds of questions we try to keep off of our comment sections because they can be traumatizing in itself to see people asking about such a sensitive subject. Trauma is never fun to talk about, and those that are open about it, we respect, but there are those out there that would seek to do harm with that information. These people are why many systems seek hiding. They can feel pressured to answer them, putting them in a vulnerable situation that they feel like they cannot escape. These questions are taking advantage of vulnerable people and not just systems, anyone with past traumas. You wouldn't ask someone who has been to war what happened to them to cause them PTSD, not unless they invite you to listen. It is the same kind of disrespect as D.I.D. is a complex form of PTSD. We spend so much of our existence living in hiding because of the stigma surrounding D.I.D. We have to hide who we are so we can stay safe. We don't know who is safe. Those we think are safe could be talking about us behind our back, so we have to be careful who we say anything to. Coming out to others can be detrimental to getting jobs or receiving other opportunities. When we were with Stacy Trademark, we had an opportunity to get a donation to get us on our feet. Stacy Trademark told the gentleman that we had D.I.D, and we told the committee about us. They decided against giving us that donation. At past jobs, we have come out to friends that we had made there, and they distanced themselves from us and acted like we were some strange creature. Even though there are discrimination laws, companies will still deny people with systems jobs simply because they have a diagnosis. We live in fight or flight mode with very little time to relax. We are so used to being abused and used that we just can't shut that part of us off. When there are even minor inconveniences, we feel as if we are being threatened and cannot settle even when we are safe. A lot of us feel most safe in isolation. Us personally, we still have issues because when we were younger, our room was our sanctuary, and even now, we can't even sit in our living room for more than an hour or two without retreating to our room to feel the safety and comfort of that isolation, even though we only live with our partner system. We put ourselves on social media to help spread knowledge and information about D.I.D and the struggles that we go through. I feel that being so lighthearted in our channel and our videos, we have contributed to some of the misconceptions about D.I.D and have made it out to be this fun adventure. D.I.D is not fun, but we have fun with it because we have worked so hard to get to the point where we are that we can make light of our disorder. We have fought to get where we are with our healing process. And we and other systems all over, we deserve to be happy and to have fun and feel comfortable with ourselves. We do not deserve to be harassed. And you shouldn't say that you want D.I.D, because altogether, with everything that I have stated, it's just plain disrespectful. Thank you guys for watching. This has been an incredible experience. We took 3 days to make sure that this video was perfect and that our words were very straight to the point. We're glad that we have so many subscribers. We recently reached 12K, and that is an amazing milestone. Thank you all for being there so much for us. If you guys are interested in our meetup, that is down in the links below. If you have any questions for us, you can pop those in the comments. Thank you for watching, and thank you all for being a goblin. I hope you have a good rest of your day.